Here's the solution for day 2. Find all real solutions of this equation. We could solve this using algebra, or you could use the graphing calculator. The left side of this equation, input for y1. For the right side of the equation, input that for y2. Then when you press graph, you're looking to see where does this curve intersect that horizontal line that would be crossing at 10. Those points of intersection are the solutions of the equation. Now, if you choose to use your graphing calculator, make sure that on a quiz, you take the time to show me what your screen looks like. You'd want to draw the rectangle and draw in that rectangle exactly what your screen is showing you to communicate how you've done the problem. Now, in the bell work, I'm going to solve this using algebra. First, I'm going to subtract the square root of x minus 5 to cause it to move to the right side. The problem will become the square root of x plus 5 is equal to 10 minus the square root of x minus 5. Next up, square both sides of the equation. On the left side, when you square the square root, it cancels away, leaving x plus 5. On the right side, there's a binomial being squared, so you can write that down 2 times and do FOIL, or use the shortcut. I'd certainly encourage the shortcut. 10 squared makes 100 minus twice the product of the 2 terms. The product of these 2 things is 10 times that square root. Twice that would be 20 times that square root. Then plus, and now square this term here. When you square the square root, you get x minus 5. Next, observe that there's a x on both sides of the equation. Those cancel away. Think of it like this. If you subtract x from both sides, this x cancels and this x cancels. You would be left with 5 equals 95 minus 20 square root of x minus 5. Now subtract the 95 from both sides. This makes negative 90 equals 20 times the square root of x minus 5. Next, divide the 20 away. Negative 90 divided by 20 simplifies to negative 9 over 2. Do you remember how we removed a square root symbol earlier? By squaring? Let's do that again. Square both sides. On the left side, it makes 81 over 4. And on the right side, you get the expression inside the square root symbol. Now we can add 5 to both sides to get the letter x alone. The whole number 5 is the same thing as 20/4. So 81 plus 20 is 101/4. And that's equal to x. Just check to make sure that this is not a restricted number from the domain. When you look at the original problem, notice that x must be greater than or equal to negative 5 so that this first square root doesn't turn out to be negative. And also that x must be greater than or equal to positive 5 so that this square root doesn't turn out to be a negative. Our answer of 101 over 4 is greater than 5, so this answer is okay. Now there were a lot of steps in this algebra, so it would be a good idea to check this answer. You can check the answer by direct substitution into the problem, work out the left side, and make sure it makes 10. Or use the graphing calculator. 101 over 4 is the same thing as 25.25 as a decimal. Let's use the graphing calculator as I described in the start of this video to see that that is the answer. For y1, I've inputted the left side of the original equation from the bell work. For y2, I put in 10. With the window settings that we have, we can't see the point of intersection between this curve and the horizontal line crossing at 10. But we weren't expecting to because we think the answer for x is 25.25, and the x-axis only counts over to 10. So we need to change our window settings. Push window. Change x maximum to something that's larger than 25.25. For instance, 30. We might also change y maximum to something higher than 10, because leaving it as 10 meant the horizontal line was drawing right at the very top edge of the screen. If we make it be something like 12, then the line won't be way up at the edge. Now press graph. This time we can see that the two curves intersect. We want to know, is that point of intersection 25.25? So press second, calculate. Choice 5 is intersect. Use the cursor to move to the point of intersection and press enter again, and enter a third time. And notice on the bottom left corner of the calculator, it says 25.25.